day, everyone, and welcome to Home at the Hollow. My name is Glennis, and I want to warmly welcome you to my kitchen. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Today's recipe is a take on a boxed brownie mix. We have a crew of workers coming today, putting up a deck outside of the kitchen door so I can slip out and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a little bit of private time. And another deck outside of the sliding glass doors. So I'm going to be giving them lunch today. I'm going to make pizza sliders. I've already made dessert for them. As you guys can see, it's not just a regular boxed brownie mix. I had to make it my own, make it a little bit different, and I'll give you a couple of tips, so that it, sets it apart from everyone else's boxed brownie mix. If this is a recipe that you are interested in, and I always hope that you join me, then keep on watching. I'm going to go ahead and get started really quickly. This is going to be kind of an ebb and flow of things. And I'm sure you guys remember I bought the Dolly Parton cake mix and worked with it a little bit, and it was really popular. And while I was there, I bought the Dolly Parton caramel turtle brownie mix. Well, some of you know I've got a crew coming in today working on decks. They were here yesterday. I'm going to feed them today. I'm going to work on some pizza sliders in a little bit, but first I want to get these brownies in the oven. So let's just see what I'm going to do with this brownie mix. I've got my brownie mix here, of course, right here. I have a skillet greased, and what I use to grease my skillet is my chocolate magic pan release. And I'll drop a link to that below. You guys should try that. But I've got 3 tablespoons of milk, and I believe that's what the recipe or the box calls for anyway. But anytime you have a box brownie mix, instead of water, use milk. But what I'm going to do, not only am I going to use milk, I've got these instant coffee crystals. I'm going to add not the whole container of this. I'm going to add just a little bit of this, just a little bit of that, just to kick it up a notch here. I want to add contrary to probably what a lot of people do, I'm going to add my liquids in here first, because you guys know I'm kind of a stickler for making sure my eggs are totally mixed and blended up. It's just too many times that and why are we not happening? Excuse me, guys. My apologies, guys. But anyway, my power strip was off. But you guys know I'm very fussy about making sure my eggs are mixed up really well. I have 3 tablespoons of whole milk with a little bit of coffee crystals. I don't know that they sell them like that anymore in the little packages. 1 egg and a half a cup of melted butter, or a stick of melted butter, whichever way you go. Going to just add this. How easy is that? I do like to make my own brownies, but this is going to do in a pinch. And believe me, I knew they were coming, but the Hollow is so far away from everything. And to get anywhere, you have to go up and down and, all of that. Now, this mix is supposed to have walnuts in it too, and it also has a caramel pouch. That doesn't bake with it, but we're going to do something a little different too. And I think I'm going to add it, with my chocolate magic pan release. That's going to add a little bit more flavor too. Probably if it were me, and if I was Dolly, putting out my own like mix, instead of walnuts, I would have put pecans, but that's just me. I was born and raised on pecans. And that's looking pretty good. And I'm going to get this scraped down to make sure that I have everything mixed like I think it should be. Looks pretty good. Just a wee bit, oh gosh, you know, I gotta make sure all the butter comes in. Make sure that that's there. You know, if you want to expand upon like a boxed brownie mix, certainly you can add some different extracts. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do it with things like the caramel that they were so happy to supply me with. I have a few little chocolate chips left in a bag, and I've got some peanut butter here. I'm going to set this aside. And this is very, very, as you can see, probably, I hope you can see, very well greased. And I'm just going to kerplunk this right in as best that I can. I enjoy, and I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy feeding a crowd. I guess, as some of you know, I had a small catering company many years ago. And so, you know, cooking for 5 or 2 or 50, for me, it just really doesn't make a lot of difference. Not to me anyway. I'm going to get this. I don't like using my fingers. I just, you know, I don't mind getting dirty, but set this aside. This looks pretty good. I've got, you know, a rough sort of 1/3 of a cup here. And I'm going to just kind of dollop a little bit of it here and there. I guess I can just use my knife. Yeah, that'll work better. I think I've cooked for the same crew before. I'm not sure if you guys remember my pulled pork. That definitely feeds a good crowd, and I think they enjoyed it. I know I sure did. So this is about 1/3 of a cup. And I know you guys are probably wondering, well, what is she going to do with the chocolate chips? But what I'm going to do, I think Dolly said to bake these at 350. 350 for how long? Oh my goodness. You know, 30 minutes or so. I don't know. Anyway, something like that. But I'm going to just give this a little bit of a swirl. I think I'm going to cook this at 325. And maybe, you know, I wish I could tell you I'm going to cook it at 325 for 40 minutes. But the reality is, I don't know. But I will definitely let you guys know once, you know, I kind of get settled with it. And of course, you know, if you're using an 8x8 or a different kind of pan, the timing is going to be different. But to, you know, kind of switch up, so to speak, your, you know, and enhance on a boxed brownie mix, bake it low, bake it slow. I've got some marshmallows, and I think what I'm going to do, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes before I think that they are done. Of course, I'm going to test it. I'm going to sprinkle this with a few, not a lot, a few marshmallow, these are little minis, and sprinkle a few, not a lot, chocolate chips on top. Allow it to cool, bring it out, and then pour Dolly's famous caramel sauce on it. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven. And I baked this 40 minutes at 325. You might need to go a little bit longer. And again, it depends on your oven. It depends on a lot of different things. But oh, this looks, I'm hoping you guys can see, this looks delicious. Looks really, really good. I did, before I put it in the oven, I'll confess, I tasted the batter. I'm trying to find my chocolate chips here. I tasted the batter, and it tasted not really very chocolatey. For some reason, it smells really good, but I don't know. It kind of tasted like kind of mapley to me. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with the walnuts. I don't know. I've never done this before, but I've got some mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. I like to use the mini ones. Not always, but sometimes. If you're topping or if you're putting them in a scone or something like that. So it's, it feels really decadent, like you get a taste of chocolate with everything. And I have my mini marshmallows here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this really quickly back in the oven for a few minutes. Guys, these came out so pretty. Oh, how pretty is this? And you know what? I have no doubt that they are going to taste good. Now, this is the caramel filling that the brownie mix came with, so I'm going to just give it a go. If you don't have anything like that, or if you don't have Dolly's mix or can't find it, you can always use just like, sorry guys, some caramel like that. Oh, my apologies, guys. My oven, when it reaches a certain temperature, the fan is just simply going to cut on. I'm going to just kind of drizzle this slightly over. Oh. Indeed, indeed. And that's only a very little bit. And I'm sure that these guys are going to love this. I hope they do. And I've had someone ask me, oh my goodness, what do you do with all this food? And they asked me, do you, donate it to like a shelter or something like that? And I would really like that. But I think given the fact that I'm a home cook, even though I am trained to cook for large groups of people, and as far as food safety and things like that is concerned, I would be reluctant to just say, oh, here, have this casserole. They would love it, but with so many people with food allergies and things like that. But here we go. I'm hoping you guys can see. This looks so good. And certainly if you don't have peanut butter, or if you have someone that has an allergy or something like that, or just don't like peanut butter, you could probably use, what is it, that Biscoff? It's like a hazelnut spread or something like that. Certainly you can use something like that in lieu of it. But otherwise, I'm sure that it tastes good, but you know what? We're going to cut into it. I'm going to come back and I'm definitely going to cut into it. I will take a taste. I don't know how much of it I'm going to eat, but I will take a small taste for you guys. And just so you guys know, with the chocolate chips and the marshmallows, I put it back in my 325-degree oven for about, I set the timer for 4 minutes. I saw it started to brown. I pulled it out at 4 minutes. I have decided to go ahead and cut just a wee bit of this and taste this for you before the crew gets here. Let's see, I'm going to have just a little bit. I don't want a lot. I know it's going to be good. Let's see. I really just want just a taste. A little taste. And I want to thank you guys again for joining me here, home at the Hollow. If you've enjoyed my recipes, some from my cookbook and some not. Some are pretty random and, you know, just throwing things together as they come to me. But if you've enjoyed my videos, if you've enjoyed my recipes, and I always hope that you do, then give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell for when I do upload. And I appreciate each and everyone's support. But join me again here, home at the Hollow. Goodbye, y'all.